Hello and good afternoon. This is Theresa and welcome to my channel. I am going to do a quick flip through of what I've accomplished in my paper sack planner for the fourth quarter of 2025. So what that means is this is going to have September, October, November, and December. So 4 months. It does have 4 signatures. And it is a Midori style binding. I did a lot of different things than I usually do with this planner, with this journal. For one thing, I tied off the elastic with these vintage military buttons that I purchased off of Marketplace here in Boise, Idaho. And then I used one of the bigger military buttons for the closure. This has, we're trying to remember where I got this fabric from. Has my trim from Italy, and it has some fabrics that I got from Italy. So all of these are from Roxy's Creations. The lace is from Amazon. And then it's just a big paper bag that's on the inside of it, so it's nice and squishy. I use 49 Dragonflies planner digital files, and I'm just gonna open up my files here real quick, and I can tell you real quick which ones I used. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm having a good day because I'm crafting, but I will have to go back to work after this, even though it's late, because for a while I was working on this. So what I have here is, I just need to make this big enough so I can see. Okay, this one is on my desk, and then I used, oh, this is going to be hard. Maybe Dreaming of Summer. This one I know. This one is Lemon Birds. And this last one is Woven Dreams. Yes, this is Woven Dreams. So like I said, it is a Midori, so the signatures can slip in and out like that. And I used tea dyed paper and some coffee dyed pages that I had done earlier in the year. So it's a combination of digitals, tea dyed paper, and a few envelopes. So I did start September in the first week of September with stamping the numbers. This is the calendar stamp. This is the first week of September stamped. And now I'm just going to flip through a bit. Some of these envelopes I did go ahead and glue them on so they would not be able to come out. But like this one I glued as a side tuck, and then I could even put something in that way. And I'm just going to put a little closure on that. This one this side I haven't decided what to do with it. I could stick something in there, but that is kind of awkward, so I will probably put some washi tape on there and cut this side open. Not sure, sometimes I just like to take like a piece, maybe a journal card or just an ornament, and glue that on there. The side pocket. Each new signature has a cover page for just basically to be artistic. Haven't decided how I'm going to use most of my envelopes. There's a side pocket. This is going to be a top pocket. Here I just used this as a tuck spot and held the journal card in with a paper clip. Midori doesn't always, what I want to say, hold in there as well as a sewn in binding like I do with, say, a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but it gives more options. So if I did want to take a page out and do some sewing, I could. If I want to add to this, it's easier to add to it that way. There's a calendar, this little sack. Here's a big tag journal card that I did. This has vintage music paper and vintage Edith Holden book paper. This is actually vintage here from a Reader's Digest botanical book. Here's another sack, another side pocket. This one actually had a tracker, so I am going to fashion trackers for the other months as well. I think the last 2 months have trackers. Yes, the last 2 months have trackers, so I have to come up with 2 more months worth of trackers. There's a 10-step tracker here and a habit tracker here. I've never done a planner this way where I take this tea-dyed paper and I cut the digital out and glue the digital to the paper. It was a lot of fun, and it went together real fast once I figured out what I wanted to do with the elastic for the Midori binding. I'm going to put some tabs on for September, to label them September, October, November, and December. Ten-step and habit tracker. So what I did with this, and you can't see it now, but I did use just one piece of elastic and I threaded it through, so I had an open in here and then an open in here. And so then I knotted it and tied it off and then added these beads just for decoration. And then on the end of the beads, I used my gilded wax to cover up that white elastic. I really like the way that came together. And then this button here, and both of them, they're what keep the elastic from coming loose. That's all of which is different than anything I've ever done. I've done Midori style before, but when I did it last, it was with a 3 pamphlet, 3 signatures, and this time I did 4, and I just could not figure out how to do it. So I finally came up with my own style, my own idea. This is vintage trim from Rachel with Roxy's Creations, and this is hemp fabric. I can never remember if it's hemp or linen. That is from Rachel with Roxy's Creation. This is something that I really enjoyed doing, is something different and new for me. This military button came with this key. I don't know what they call these, but I think it's probably something key. And I used that to hold the button on, and it's perfect. Didn't have to sew it or anything, just slide that clamp on. So that was really cool. Okay, well, that is what I've got so far with this planner. It's coming together real nice. All 4 signatures are in there. So we'll see how fat it might get, but I think I've got it managed, and very excited to see how that goes. Oh, one thing I will say is that if I were to do this type of Midori binding again, I would want these to be up on the top, because usually you lay your journal on a shelf like this, and this kind of is awkward. I guess I can tuck that in there, and it almost will stand by itself. Yeah, it works. But like I said, if I were to do it again, I would put them up here instead of down on the bottom, just for the purpose of standing the journal up. Now I may want to build some more height on the signatures inside of here, because I didn't really measure this real great on the top. It looks good on the bottom. I like the distance on the bottom, but it's a little overkill here on the top. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you for visiting my channel, and please don't forget to hit the like button and comment, and I will see you again in the next video, hopefully.